Hey guys, it's Ashley. Welcome back to Usher Books. Today I'm going to be doing kind of a discussion video, and I'm going to be discussing book ratings, or kind of how I look at book ratings and all of that kind of stuff. So I thought about this topic because towards the end of last year, beginning of this year, when I was looking at my Goodreads and trying to figure out, what was my favorite books of the year, what were some of my least favorites, I realized that a lot of my books have a 4-star rating. And that got me kind of thinking, like, oh, I wonder if I should kind of look at how I'm rating books and maybe I should change that. So it just kind of got me thinking, and I thought it would be kind of fun to do a video on it so you guys could kind of let me know what you think and how you guys rate books, because I always just find these type of videos so interesting and so fascinating. First off, I thought I would tell you guys kind of how I rate books as of right now. And kind of what my thought process is. To start with, I just want to say that the way I rate books is typically off of enjoyment. So I see reading as a hobby. It's something I want to enjoy and like to do. So I am not that big of a critical reader, I guess you could say. I mean, if there is something major wrong, or if there's something, with the grammar is completely off or something like that, of course I'm gonna give it a lower rating. But overall, it doesn't really matter what kind of book it is for me. If I enjoy it, it's going to get a higher rating. So that's kind of where I start. The reason I think that there are so many 4-star books is because in my head, this is kind of how I grade books. If it's a good book, and I really enjoyed it, and I liked the characters and the plot, and it's something I would love to read another in the series of, or something else from the author, and it was just a really enjoyable few hours, then it usually gets a 4-star for me. That's kind of where I start at, and then I either go up or down. And I think that's why there's so many of them. So then if there are some things that are just kind of missing for me, if there are characters that I don't love, if they make some choices that I don't really agree with or kind of can't empathize with, if there are kind of plot holes or things just aren't melding, or if it just loses my interest. I'm a pretty fast reader, so typically if it takes me 2 weeks to get through a book, it didn't really keep my interest all that well. I mean, unless it's just a really busy week or something like that. But for the most part, I am a pretty quick reader. So if it takes me that long, typically it didn't keep my interest, and it probably will get that 3-star rating because there were a few things missing and it just didn't click for me. On the other side, if it was perfect, it gets that 5-star rating. But for me, I don't really know exactly what it is that gets 5 stars, because when I look at the different books that are on my 5-star list, not all of them are the same at all. Most of them, they really range from all kinds of genres, all kinds of subgenres. I think what it is just if it's a book that I flew through and I stayed up till 2 a.m. reading, I couldn't put down. It was so addicting, and I'm thinking about it when I'm not reading. I'm thinking about it after I finish it. If those characters were just so personal, if it makes me cry and feel for the characters, whether it's good or bad, that's how it gets that notch up to 5 stars. But for the most part, that's kind of what I think. Now, I have to be honest with you. I don't give very many books 1 or 2 stars. I just don't. It's not that I'm against it or if I think some people shouldn't. I think I have given a few 2 stars out in the past, but typically if I don't like it that much, I've already stopped reading it before I get to that point. When I was thinking about all those 4-star books, and I think one of the other reasons for it is I've gotten pretty good over the years of picking out books that I think I will really enjoy and kind of narrowing in on the types of books I love and the types that I just don't love as much. I've also got very good at realizing when I'm not in the mood for something and not reading it. That's why so many of the times I don't read books on my TBR, because I'm just not in the mood for them anymore, and I know if I force myself to read it, I'm not going to enjoy it and it's going to get a lower rating. And is that really fair? for myself. I don't know. So anyways, I think that's why I don't rate very many things 1 and 2 stars. For me, it's just really about enjoyment and how much did I enjoy reading it. And if I really, really didn't enjoy reading it that much, I probably didn't finish it, or I put it down and I'll pick it up another day. That's how I kind of rate books. And when, like I said, I started thinking about, like, should I change the way I rate books? Should I become more of a like critical reader, or, you know, should I be harsher on them? And I've kind of come to the conclusion for the most part that no, I don't need to. You know, everybody has their own way of rating books, and I think it's so fascinating. It's such a almost like subjective thing. Everybody has different things they look for in a book. Everybody has something they want that's different from a book. And I think that's why Goodreads in general is such an interesting kind of thing to use, because I love Goodreads. I use it all the time. I mean, I do look at the ratings when I'm picking out a book. I, along with the rest of the world, do wish they would give us a 5-star rating, because sometimes you just want to give a book 4.5 stars, you know? But I do use Goodreads and I do look at the ratings, but sometimes I do wonder if I'm not reading something that I would enjoy just because it has a lower rating. And because sometimes I'll read something that has a decently low rating on Goodreads just because I pick it up randomly, and I really love it because it was what I wanted. It was what I was looking for. So I just think that's so interesting. And I don't think I'm going to change the way I rate my books. I know some people have like a list of things they look for in the book, and like they kind of check those things off as they see them, or they give each section like a star rating and then kind of get like an average. And I think that's awesome. I think that is so organized. I'm like, applause to you people, but it's just not really for me. And I think I'm still going to go off of how much did I enjoy it, and, you know, how much do I want to recommend this to someone else too. So that's kind of all I wanted to talk about today. Kind of just think about how I rate books and kind of where I come from when I do it. And it was just such an interesting thing I had been thinking about. So I thought I might talk about it with you guys. So I would absolutely love to know, how do you guys rate your books? Like, what do you go off of? Do you have like a chart, or do you just kind of go off like me, like on enjoyment? Do you kind of look more critically at the book? What do you guys look at? I would love to know. So definitely let me know down below. Or if you use like something else other than stars to rate your books, I always think that's really, really cute. So let me know that too. And thank you guys so much for watching and for subscribing. If you would like to subscribe, please do so. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.